Hello and good afternoon. My name is Josh. Thank you for joining us on another Creative Corner series. We are going to be working on Dr. Seuss Inspired Art. But before we go ahead and get started on our workshop for today, let's go over some of the supplies you'll need. Before we go in depth on the materials and supplies that we'll be utilizing in today's workshop, I would like to say that we do have limited number of these supply kits available, and they're on our website ofpl.online. I will put the direct link into the description of the video. But in your supply kit, you will receive some coffee filters, some washable markers, as well as this 5x7 canvas panel. And on the back of the canvas panel, there is some instructions. Going into our supplies for today, we have our Dr. Seuss character made. Our workshop is divided into two separate sections. We're going to make a Dr. Seuss character, and then for the kids, we're going to make this Lorax inspired doily as well. But I do have my own Dr. Seuss character made, and then how I made this is I used this roll a dice Dr. Seuss character that I found available online, and then all I needed was a 6-sided dice. Rolled out the character, and that's how we made this Dr. Seuss character. We're going to use some fine liner pens, some watercolor brushes, and then of course some sketchbook paper, so that way we can actually make the character. And in order to make the doily, you'll need the coffee filters as well as the washable markers, and any type of tray that you have at home, a cookie sheet, a serving tray. I have a disposable aluminum foil tray here. For the first part of our workshop, we are going to go ahead and make this washable marker doily out of a coffee filter. And all you need is just a plain old coffee filter, like so. And then you're going to go ahead and try to flatten it as best as possible on your tray itself. And it's okay if it wrinkles up a little bit, because we're going to be using washable markers in order to color it. And this example doily I made is utilizing triangular shapes. But for this one, we're going to go ahead and draw circles. And you want to put as much as the marker of the ink on the doily itself, the coffee filter. But you're just going to go ahead and change colors and try to use as much color as possible. Now this is a great activity to do with your kids, and it is inspired by the Lorax, which is one of my favorite books as well as movies. And you're just going to keep doing this until you fill all the white space on the coffee filter. And it's okay if you use multiple colors, but the more color you have, the more interesting your coffee filter will look. And when you're doing this, it is okay to blend the colors on the coffee filter beforehand. I did not mention while I was going over our supplies that you'll also need a spray bottle as well as some paper towels. Again, try to cover as much as the space as possible. switching up the colors, trying to make circles on the coffee filter. And as I mentioned, it is okay if you blend some of the colors on the coffee filter itself. You could also leave spaces on the filter itself. You don't necessarily have to cover the entire thing. It is a preference. I like to have a lot of color on the filter itself. I am going to go ahead and call it quits after adding the black onto the filter. Let's add some more black here and there. But once you have your filter situated, you're going to go ahead and lay it down on your tray, get your spray bottle, and you just want to put water on top of it. And the ink from the washable marker is going to spread into some of the other colors too. And it's going to make a very interesting design. You can go ahead and use your finger to push down on the filter itself. Add some more water if you need to. But once you feel comfortable with it, we are going to go ahead and transfer it to a paper towel to dry off the excess water. And you'll go ahead and let that dry. I created a Dr. Seuss character before this workshop. And I rolled the dice. It's a 6-sided dice multiple times. So for the head, I rolled a 6. For ears, or the top of the head, I rolled a 3. The nose, a 2. Eyes, a 1. The mouth, a 4. And extras, I rolled a 3. It's supposed to be whiskers, but instead I drew very high eyebrows. So that's how I made this character. For our workshop today, I went ahead and rolled the numbers at the dice again. I rolled a 4, a 2, 1, 1, 6, and 2. So we're going to go ahead and draw that today. You can find this roll Dr. Seuss character available online. There are multiple different ones out there. If you are able to make this character on your own, you're more than welcome to do that. And then on your canvas panel, you can go ahead and paint. I used acrylic paints to do this one, but we're gonna do a mix of pencil, fine liner pens, and then some water brush pens too as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. For the Dr. Seuss character, you want to work from the top of your page on down. So I'm going to start with the head. And it kind of looks like a giant candy corn. Which I probably made this a little too big, so I'm going to make it a little bit more smaller. because with our second roll for the head, we rolled one of the Things hairstyles. And so we'll go ahead and just create a nice frazzled hairstyle. It doesn't have to be exact, but if you would like to, you can have it exact. And then I have our circular nose, an oval nose to the side, followed by some weird looking eyes. And I'm never good with eyes, but I'm going to have them kind of connect to the nose. Followed by a sideways smile and a mustache, the Lorax mustache. So now that we have our character situated, we're going to go ahead and color it in. And then I just made a body. It could be very generic, but we'll go ahead and color this in. Thank you for joining me on this workshop for Dr. Seuss Inspired Art. You may or may not know this, but Dr. Seuss' birthday is tomorrow. That's why we decided to do this workshop. We made Lorax inspired doilies. So here is our example, and here is our final product. And the second part of our workshop, we went ahead and made our very own Dr. Seuss character, rolling some 6-sided dice. So I made this one on the canvas panel with acrylic paint. And then in our workshop today, we made this lovely character out of watercolor, as well as some fine liner pens. If you are interested, we do have a limited number of these supply kits available. It includes some coffee filters, washable markers, and the 5x7 canvas panel, as well as some instructions. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our social media. We have everything from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and much more. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.